The biggest note trade show of the year is coming up in November. Where will you be? Stay tuned. Well, thank you for joining this week's edition of NoteSchool TV. Well, where every week we bring you the most amazing content and the most amazing guest. This week, Eddie and I are going to be talking about, well, the most amazing note trade show of the year, just like we said. And so we are going to do our whole episode on that. Before we do, a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, make sure and like this episode, and please share this with your friends. We want everybody to know that NoteExpo is coming up and you need to be there. So like it. If you haven't subscribed to the NoteSchool TV channel, make sure and do so you won't miss an episode. And then number three, make sure and hit that bell notification so that you will be, well, alerted every week right before we go live at 11:05 every Wednesday morning. So with that, we are not going to waste any time. Let's bring on, well, our Chief Visionary Officer, founder of NoteSchool, all-around good guy, my friend, Mr. Eddie Speed.
Hello, Joe.
Hey, Eddie. Wow, this is exciting, man. We have a lot going on.
We do. NoteExpo is a trade show that we had a vision of a dozen years ago. And
yes,
we have made it the biggest note trade show for private notes, that is for private real estate notes, that is available in the industry. Yes. And you're going to see that. And we've got a lot of pictures and a lot of story about what we do and a journey. And it is a trade show that has a vision. It has a purpose. It acknowledges people that have done good for our business. Yes. And it brings people in a good direction and a clarity of where the market opportunity is and how you should act on it.
That's right.
So we're gonna start out with our slides, and we're just gonna kind of tell a story, Joe, as we kind of go through the slides and pictures of kind of what this event is about and why it matters.
That's right.
Okay,
let's roll it.
All right. So NoteExpo 2024 is, we believe, going to be the largest event that we've had of this kind. There is a buzz in the market for sure. And it is the place to go for the business. And Joe, every day somebody asks me about it, and every day we're working on it, and we are fired up. This is going to be in the middle of November, right? 8th and 9th of November, Friday and Saturday. Yep.
That's right.
And so it is the ultimate note event, and it is going to be at a very nice place. It's going to be at the Westin Galleria in Dallas. So this is in the heart of North Dallas.
Yes. Very
nice hotel, beautiful facility, and easy to get to Dallas-Fort Worth, whether you're flying into Love Field with Southwest or you're kind of flying into Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, which is one of the busiest airports in the United States. And so you can almost get a direct flight from anywhere to get there. And so it's going to be a great location in Dallas, a great location at the hotel.
Yeah.
And Joe, that's what it looked like last year when you walked up before the storm started, right? Before all the activity started happening, right?
I found this picture yesterday and I was like, we got to put that. That is the calm before the storm. I remember when that picture was taken, and about 20 minutes later, it was like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So let's really talk about one of the things that we start out with every NoteExpo, and this is not something that we started from the very first event, but we saw the value in it, and that is what I would simply say, Joe, is the guy that has lived well in the industry for a long time. The guy, the person. It's not gender related at all, but it's the Lifetime Achievement Award, and these awards have been given to people that have a long-standing reputation in the industry of doing right, helping people, being a good name and a good steward for the industry. So I'm going to go through these really quick. This is my old friend, Mr. Tom Reeves. And Tom won that award, and he has subsequently passed away. And so I think it really meant a lot to him to win this. And I dealt with him for many, many years. Great guy, Mr. Tom Reeves. So next one is an old guy that's been around the business a long time, Mr. Glenn Lee, one of the founders of the Seller Finance Coalition, a real estate investor in Houston, note buyer. Really, really, really has been a go-giver and gave back to the industry. So 2016 was Glenn Lee. And then Mr. Scott Campbell. Mr. Scott Campbell is one of the founders of the Texas Land Developers Association, who has had the biggest lobby effort for seller financing across the nation. And they've particularly been super active here in Texas in lobby efforts, and really has impacted a lot of the standards and what is acceptable practices for the business. Guys created about 40,000 seller finance notes. And my old friend, Mr. Scott Campbell. This is a man that I dealt with back in the 80s, and I thought he was one of the wisest people I'd ever met. He has several generations in the business now behind him, Mr. Manny Harris, and just such a prince of a guy, and just done so good for the industry. And I just couldn't tell you enough about cool things about Mr. Manny Harris. And then there's a pretty lady. And you know what, to be honest with you, my wife, I had a number of people that came to me and said, because you have this event, Martha should not be robbed from winning this award. And so I kind of let them take control of that year. And there were a number of people behind the scenes, and Martha did not know she was going to win this award. And she was sitting by me on the front row. And then Nathan Long was with Quest, and he came up and he says, I'm going to do the presentation this year. Eddie normally does it, but we kind of took it away from Eddie. And Martha won the industry achievement award. Yeah. So pretty cool there. And then Mr. Quincy Long. And Quincy has been an icon in the business. He was founder of Quest IRA, and really the training and the teaching that Quest did in this business, and that Quincy was responsible for, is an icon in the business. Anybody on social media that's ever read about any of that would know what an incredible impact he is, and how he showed people how to effectively invest with retirement accounts and buy notes. So great time. This is my long friend, Mr. David Fenolio, and you talking about a go-giver. Let me just tell you this. I've never, ever, ever been with him when it wasn't a kid from the basketball team or the Boy Scouts or the whatever, like $200 or $500. I mean, that man is a go-giver beyond anything I've ever seen. I've told many people many times that benevolence is taught, and nobody has personally taught me more about benevolence and doing good for our industry than that man right there, Mr. David Fenolio, right? And he's sort of an icon in the business. Mr. Mitch Stephen, I worked with Mitch a lot, helping him develop the note business that he built in the mid 90s. And we have been long friends, and it was appropriate very much that Mitch win the recipient of last year's Lifetime Achievement Award. These guys have done good for the business a long time. And Joe, there was a post on Facebook the other day, some guy said, well, you guys have got a bunch of old people. Well, you know what? Old people that have done good for the business is probably a good thing, Joe.
Amen.
And maybe we show our younger people the path with compression of time and experience. And but you know what? We're going to continue to honor people that have spent a lifetime for doing good. And our recipient this year was literally one of my mentors when I very started in the business.
Can't wait.
You're going to get to meet him and hear his story. And he is quite a gentleman, and he has quite a history. I don't know any single person that's been doing it longer than he has. And he has done good for the business overall. So, Joe, let's talk about our first keynote speaker, sir.
Well, you know, Dr. Don Davis, he was an 11-year, had a huge NFL career. Eddie didn't win one, but two Super Bowl rings with the New England Patriots. and now he is the senior director of player affairs for the NFL Player Association. And Eddie, this guy is a dynamic speaker. You know, as you would say, if he doesn't light your fire, your wood is wet, right?
He's gonna rock the house.
Yes, he
is gonna rock
amazing.
the house. This guy is really cool, and we were fortunate enough to have some connections with him.
Yeah,
and we're able to get him to come speak for us, and we're very excited about it. The next keynote speaker, I say this guy is the smartest guy in the note space I've ever met. I know this guy really well. He is literally leading the entire mortgage origination industry into technology with blockchain and AI at levels that you cannot imagine. Like you can't imagine. And so I just said, Cade, what you're doing is revolutionizing the mortgage industry with technology. And he is president of Rock Top Technologies. He's a co-president, and they are the leading firm in the country that is doing this. And I just am so honored that he is going to share with us some innovations that I bet you're going to pop your eyes out, Joe. I'll bet you, right? All right, so let's talk about what the purpose of the event is. Obviously, we're honoring those that have done well for years. Obviously, we're bringing on leaders and inspiration to the business, because if you don't get your head right, Joe, nothing's going to be right.
Nothing's right. That's right.
But what we're going to talk about a lot in this is we're going to go through the waterfall of the actual industry, and that's going to be led to us by various speakers. So we're going to have literally over 21 different speakers with short, concise, very focused initiative. And Joe, it's going to be in chronological order of how you look at a deal, right? Everything from finding the right property to underwriting the deal, to having a structure to how you create your notes, to dealing with various vendors, closing agencies, alternatives to title insurance. Man, we got a slate that is the best we've ever had, and we've been working on this for months, and we're pretty fired up about it.
Eddie, I want to say something real quick about this. This isn't one of those things, too, where you've got to pick which one you go to, right? Which one you can go to. You get to see them all right there from your seat.
There's not breakouts.
No.
These are short, concise, expert presentations. They're called Note Talks. They're 20 minutes each, and it's bam, 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 bam. And they are doing it in an order so that the deal makes sense from all the way through the process. So there is a little bit of a class idea behind this, Joe, although this is not a class. It is definitely a convention, but there are the specialized topics, and also we have people talking about various aspects of legacy. So that's kind of where we're going with this. And I'll bet you when you leave there, you'll say, this is the best note trade show I've ever been to. I'm betting that, Joe.
I would bet that too. I'll take that bet.
And let me just tell you, buddy, we got some speakers with some experience and some knowledge and some vision. We got a lot of people that are going to be sharing with us what their genius zone is in the business. Now, many of these speakers can do multiple things in the note space, but we tried to find the one thing that said, this is your genius zone. You're like the most successful at this dimension in a short group of people in the whole country. And man, I tell you right now, these guys are going. I'm very excited about these guys and what they're doing.
You won't want to get up for a second and get. You'll take a break when it's time to take.
I'm totally serious. Like I believe, I've really. When we started sharing our vision with our speakers, they're like, "Oh my God, this is it." Joe, call it no boring panels.
There you go.
We have one panel. That's the Seller Finance Coalition, and that's a collaborative effort in the industry, and it makes sense that we do with that one. And other than that, and Joe, here's another thing that we do is that we have the case study competition for Note School, and these are the winners in various categories: non-performing notes, performing notes, and creating notes. And that's our friend Miss Sophia Jones, and she won last year with a killer case study on a non-performing note.
She did, yeah.
And so we're very amped up about this, and we present this. We make it quick, but these stories, these are people that are executing the business at just a very not just an advanced level, but a successful level. Right. Joe, collaboration, communication. Yeah. There is tons of focus. Let's go sit down and listen to what somebody's got to say. But those little talks that we talk about on the bottom, that's where deals happen, Joe. This is Main Street for the note industry right now. These 2 days, these are Main Street for the note industry. And there is people that are represented from all over the country in all kind of situations, and really just couldn't be more excited about us seeing them and hanging out with them and getting a vision. Joe, you and I on the bottom left, we're saying we're fixing to bring on the winners of the case study. And we've got concise little PowerPoint stories that lay out what they did. Joe, you have championed that for Note School. Thank you so much for doing that. And man, Joe, you tease about this because it is a cliche, and it has been overused. But it actually really is the truth, and that is your net work is your net worth.
That's it.
And that's how you get this. This is how, Joe, this is how I got to meet you.
I know.
Years ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we realized there was a gap in the industry, and we wanted to be able to do the right thing and position the right things in the market. As you can see, this is a big stage. It pops. This is a larger trade show where it's got the music, it's got the lights, it's got the excitement. We got Mr. Ron Eccles, our MC, and he will rock the house. I guarantee.
Just a wonderful guy.
And but there's a lot of vision up there and a lot of why things matter. And let me just tell you right now, what we want to be able to do is be in a position with confidence where we can say to you, this is fun, informative, life-changing.
It is.
And all that is the case. And Joe, I wanted to say, let's talk a little bit about our vendors, because really that is the boots on the ground when you don't want your boots on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the place you go. These folks that you hear us, if you've watched NoteSchool TV, we talk about servicers. Well, there's servicers. You hear us talk about title companies. Well, the title companies are there, and all different vendors that will make your life much easier, allow you to do deals all over the United States, and just really a venue to just meet and greet and hang out and network with these servicers and get to know them.
The thing is the reason that we can do this business nationally, the reason we can do this business and have another job and make notes a investing strategy, and mean that you may not have to go build out a back office to do everything that maybe we do in our back office, right? The reason all that happens is because of vendors like this and what they do and what they provide. And I can tell you something, that there are some new vendors coming with some innovations in the business that have been a game changer for us. And we discovered them, and we now bringing them back out, and we're sharing them with everybody. We're not keeping them to ourselves.
That's right.
Right. And so we have a lot of things. And so our vendor area is going to be very active. And I just can say, Joe, that I'm so excited that this now is, where we've morphed into, now, 12 or 13 years later, right? We can look back and say NoteExpo has made an impact on the industry.
It has. You see that red and white umbrella over there? What that means is that is the afternoon. What are the afternoon ice cream socials, right?
Yeah, go get you an ice cream cone, right?
And we are going to wine you, and we are going to dine you, and you're going to have plenty of time to network with not only with the vendors, but with the other attendees. And that's everybody loves that.
Yeah, there's going to be food, drink, fun, connections, relationship, and expertise in the business that I don't believe anybody can go pack into any better in 2 days than what we're going to provide. So it's going to have the whole package. We know you're busy, so that's why we feed you. We know that you need connections with other people. That's why we have all this that we have, and that's really what it's going to look like. Joe, I just wanted to just kind of quickly not read all this for the audience, other than saying mastering the note mosaic, right? Innovation, strategy, and legacy in real estate investing. And man, I don't know what else to say, Joe, but innovation in the business is a key, and strategy and legacy and really real estate investing, as well as notes and how that might tie together. But the whole theme of the whole thing is mastering the note mosaic. That is it. That is what this event is going to be about, and it's what people are going to feel from doing it. So, Joe, we've been lucky enough to win a prize or two over this in the past, right?
Yes, we have. This is, well, last year it was our 4th year in a row. And hey, when it comes time to cast your vote for 2024's trade show, this is hopefully we'll get that again. I feel pretty confident. Don't want to feel cocky, but confident.
Yeah, so we've won ever since this award came out. We've won it literally every year, and we're honored to do it. We're the best note industry trade show 4 years in a row, and we're going for number 5. And I'll bet you, as Joe said, we might make that happen. So, Joe, let's talk about getting registered for NoteExpo and what that looks like. So we'll put the link in here and make sure you guys have the information. November 8th and 9th. It's at the Westin Galleria in Dallas. Yeah. And it is going to be end to end. And if you aren't there, you will be square.
You will be, right? Hey, and just type in NoteExpo 2024 and you'll be taken to a page, and you can do it right there. Yeah, we can't wait. I mean, this is something, for us that we look forward to each year. And it just, our motto has always been learn, trade, and invest, Eddie. Well, I think we got to add something else to it. Learn, trade, invest, and network, right? So
and inspire.
Right.
We'll get started out with the inspiration of the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'll guarantee you that'll probably make you tear up a little bit, because it's a story about people that have spent their life trying to do good for our business. Absolutely. And trying to be a go-giver for teaching us the path. And so then from there, then the next stage in the business is obviously getting some inspiration. And former football great Dr. Don Davis will be there, and I will guarantee you he will get us revved up. And then we are going to continually work through these note talks and cycle in the right thing at the right time, right? About like how that looks in the business, and show you variety and innovation and really a realistic perspective. We're not talking about a market that doesn't exist, because I look at Facebook sometimes and people are acting like there's a market situation, and I'm going like, that's not true.
It's not true.
We're going to talk about what the real market is, the real situation, and there are going to be the innovators there helping us with that. So, Joe, let me tell you something. I am so glad to have been able to share this today, and really, honestly, just know that we are just 100%. Yeah. We are so fired up that if you can make this in your schedule and you can make this a priority, it will be the thing that you're glad that you did in the fall of this year. I'm betting that, Joe. It is the thing that will change the trajectory of how you progress into the business going into 2025.
Yeah, that's a little scary to say, 2025, right? One of those things about those pictures of the awards there, your hair got progressively a little grayer, as mine has as well.
Well, it just is what it is.
It is what it is. We're lucky to be here and healthy and a little wiser. Yeah, Eddie, we're going to have a big show next week as well. Our 208th episode of Note School TV. We'll be celebrating that next week. 4 years. Yep, 4 years. And it is amazing. So you won't want to miss that show. And we look so forward to seeing you at NoteExpo, November 8th and 9th. It is going to be, again, amazing. You will regret not being there if you're not there. So we look forward to seeing you there, Eddie, right?
All right, you guys come see us. It's worth it. We're pumped up about it, as you can tell, and we're pumped up about it. But we're pumped up about all the success we've had in the past, and even the tweaks and the changes we've made to bring us to that point of excellence that we know that you're gonna experience this year, and connectivity and relationships and community and all of that really matters.
That's it.
You guys have a great day.
Have a great week. See you.